So today I just wanted to come out here and have a chat with you about this realization that I had about the connection between food and eating habits and your ability to attract abundance. Now, this was something that just kind of came to me when I realized something about my food and eating habits, and it's just completely blown my mind. So I have been working on abundance mindset for a long time. I have been trying affirmations, nervous system work, all of that to increase my level of abundance, to feel more abundant, to attract more money, more opportunities, all of these things. And of course, I have seen some progress, but not a lot or not as much as I would like to see. Now, what happened about a week ago is that my brother pointed out that I was severely under eating for someone who's my age and my weight and with my sort of activity level. And of course, I argued with him a lot because I was like, no, you know what, I'm eating enough and I'm doing everything right and everything. But when we really sat down with it and we really saw how much I was actually eating, it was actually much, much less. So what this meant was that in an attempt to lose weight, I was under eating and I had messed up my metabolism, right? Because if you under eat for a lot of time, the metabolism sort of adapts and it reduces the base amount of calories that it needs to simply sustain life. So what I basically realized in a very eye-opening conversation was that I had very unknowingly put my body into scarcity mode, right? I was not feeding it enough because I thought I wanted to lose weight. So I was doing intermittent fasting. I was reducing my calories. But the body felt that there is a lot of scarcity, that there's not enough food available. Maybe I'm in some famine or in some danger and there's just not enough food available. So whatever I would eat, it would store it as fat so that it can optimize and make sure that I stay alive, right? The body doesn't understand that I'm just trying to lose weight. It thinks that there's actual danger. And so we need to get into the scarcity mode and we need to store everything you eat as fat. And after I took some time to process it and to really understand what I have been doing to my body, I couldn't help but wonder if there is some connection between me not able to receive food or just not letting myself receive food and not letting myself receive abundance as well. So the question that really came to me was, can we really expect our bodies to feel abundant when they're constantly receiving the message that there isn't enough? Yeah, and this was a very, very aha moment sort of thing for me, where I was like, wow, this might be the missing piece. And it's coming from food and nutrition and eating habits that I never thought would be connected in any way whatsoever. But it makes sense when you really think about it, right? Because how can I attract abundance in terms of money, more opportunities, when my body is feeling scarcity at a daily level for something as basic as food, for something as basic as fuel, right? So you cannot restrict your body and make it feel scarce and then try to have an abundance mindset, right? Because I was practicing abundance. I was trying to feel that, oh, there's enough of everything. There's so much of money available. There's so much of opportunities available. There's so much of success available. At the same time, when my body is quite literally feeling scarcity, when my body is literally in survival mode, right? So if you understand a little bit about survival mode versus creation mode, when my body is in survival, it doesn't care about anything other than survival, right? It cannot think properly, it cannot ideate, it cannot execute well, it can survive, it can get by, but it can't really expand and create and invite new things in because it's just busy trying to survive. So there are so many things happening in my body physiologically if I'm constantly in survival mode, which I don't want to get into right now. But even just from a very energetic lens, if you think about it, if my body is busy surviving, there is no room for expansion. It doesn't care about more money. It doesn't care about more opportunities. It only cares about staying alive, as it should, right? So this basic realization of me not giving my body enough food for whatever reason made me also realize that maybe food is not just about food. It's not just about nutrition and nourishment, but it's also about receiving, right? It's about having a cake and really receiving it in and feeling the joy and the pleasure of eating a cake, or allowing yourself to really receive these small pleasures of life, or allowing yourself to just receive what you think you need, maybe after a stressful day, maybe. So the question became that if I am struggling to receive something as basic as a good breakfast, a good lunch, a good dinner, enough calories, a treat here and there, what else am I struggling to receive, or where else am I doing the same thing? Maybe I'm struggling to receive support as well, maybe even help, maybe compliments, maybe love. And then of course I'm also struggling to receive money and opportunities, right? Because it's all connected. It's all about your ability to receive. Now I want to clarify that this doesn't mean that you just eat more and more money appears. This is not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that there is a deeper pattern that is going on in someone who is under eating, or in someone who is not able to really receive food without overthinking it, without complicating it. What I'm saying is that there is a deeper pattern going on between scarcity, between not being able to receive food and not feeling enough, and not being able to have an abundance mindset, or not being able to attract a lot of abundance in your life, right? Because if you think about it, why was I, or a lot of other people, why are they under eating? Right? It's not because they don't want to eat food. It's not because they hate food. It's because there is some part of them that is saying that I need to lose weight because I don't feel enough, right? So you are not happy with how you look. You feel that you need to change first to really deserve things. You need to become worthy first by looking a certain way, and only then you can really enjoy food. right? And isn't that the exact same story with money, love, success, abundance, right? I'll deserve a raise when I do XYZ, or I'll be worthy when XYZ, or I'll allow myself to receive when XYZ. So it's the exact same pattern that we keep repeating, whether it's food, whether it's money, whether it's anything else. So maybe what you're struggling with isn't abundance. It is actually receiving. It is actually your ability to receive things, from very small things like a good breakfast and good food to bigger things like love, like money, like success, like ease, like peace, all of these things. So this is just something that I wanted to share with you. It was just something so profoundly eye-opening that I wanted to share, because I know that there might be a lot more people out there who are probably in the same pattern. Your pattern might not be linked to food, but it might be linked to something else. It might be linked to your inability to receive compliments or your inability to receive support. It might be anything. But the basic premise is that if you're struggling to receive something very basic, you are really blocking yourself from receiving something bigger, like more abundance of money, more abundance of success, or whatever it is that you are really calling in. So for today, I just want to leave you with this question, and think about it a little bit, and do let me know what comes up for you in the comments. I'd love to know. And the question is, in what ways am I starving myself emotionally, physically, creatively, spiritually? And what would it look like to feed myself generously? Okay. So I hope this was as eye-opening for you as it was for me when I first realized. I would love to know what resonated, what stuck with you, and what your answer to this question is. So let's talk in the comments, and I'll see you next time.